Housing market. Stress, super high. What to do? People are watching all these videos on how the market's moving, when should you buy, when should you not buy, how the interest rates are going, what's going to happen, is this bubble going to pop, what is the end finale to this whole madness? But nobody's asking, when they're trying to figure out what to do with their properties or try to get into a property, am I getting what I want? Where's my happiness value at? Let's talk. Welcome back to another video. My name is Nikos. This is mentorsapproach.com, where we strive to make a video each and every week to get you thinking and moving in the right direction. So hit subscribe. Today we're talking about this incredibly stressful time with housing markets and how they're all nuts. Doesn't matter what market in the world you're in, it's nuts. I live in Canada, so I'm seeing it in the Canadian version, which is similar to every other one. And here's the thing. The question is, how are you reacting to this market if you're trying to buy a house or sell a house or whatever scenario you're in? Now, most of the emails I've been getting is people trying to get into a house and trying to figure out, is this a good time to buy? And most of the coach calls deal with this. Family members, friends, same thing. This whole past year has been like this. Now, granted be, the question is the market is moving in the way the market's going to move, and depending on how the government is going to make changes will affect this, the interest rates, this, that. So we can't really tell when 100%, but we track and people will give that information out. All the conversations I've had always lead to this thing about money. It's all about money. Almost like that's the only thing that's important here. Nobody's thinking about their happiness. And if they are, it's on the short term. And it really comes back to that money. Because they're going, well, what is the best case scenario money-wise first, then this whole idea of this happiness thing. Now, how am I bringing this to play and why? It's because I'm finding it more and more that I'm seeing people, as time has gone by, and they've bought properties or sold, then bought, that they're in regret. And where's this regret coming from? So let me read you an email of a typical email that I get and how this sounds. Hi Nikos, I just want an opinion on the housing market and if you would be buying or waiting. I have missed some good opportunities, mainly because we couldn't bid higher. My wife and I are struggling with the whole first purchase. Should I keep trying? Look, and this is a typical email, and this is how I typically would respond. Where's your value at for happiness versus money? Now, in this email, I have missed some good opportunities. You or you and your wife. So you're putting a automatic, emphasis on it's your responsibility, not mutual. Bid higher, you couldn't bid higher, so that means that your budget is set. You can't really go higher than that, so some people will have a higher budget, they'll bid higher. My wife and I are struggling with the whole first purchase, which is now coming to this emotion, and the whole first purchase should be an awesome experience, and instead, you're stressed. And why should it be an awesome experience? You guys are starting a life together. You should be looking for something awesome that you're going to be living in for a bit of time, and you want to start a family, so you want to look at all these scenarios, qualifications of what you want in a property, not just money. Okay? Let's put that into perspective here. Now, what happens with all the calls, all the emails, all the conversations, they're all in the same manner here. Everybody's looking at what is coming. And they're trying to make these decisions on money, forgetting their happiness. When you're looking at this idea of happiness, you have to ask yourself, what is it that you really want, what you really need? Now, I'm looking for a property. I've been looking for quite some time. I can't find any. Am I stressed or regret or, depressed or anything like that? No, I'm not. Why? Because I've been through this rodeo before. The market always does this thing. It does this dance, in other words. Do I need to rush a decision that's an expensive decision? No, I don't. I have patience for that. Why? Because I'm evaluating the happiness level. Now, if I am looking for a city and I'm looking for a condo, for instance, what are my values? I look at that. If I was looking for a condo, I'd be saying to myself, what are my top things I need and want? I can tell you this, in Toronto, where it gets to -20, I want to be close to that subway. And I'm willing to pay a little bit of a premium to be there compared to a 5 to 10 minute walk. I'm willing to pay that 1 to 2 minute walk. So I'm going to look for a property like that. If I don't find one, I don't want to move into a condo there. Now, if it's an investment property, that's a different story. Okay. On the other end, if I'm moving, away from that city center and I'm in like a nice, suburbs with a family mindset, what are the things I need there? Well, can I get to the expressway quick? Can I get to where I need to go quick? Schools. Am I going to be in a good location with schools? Is the whole little division area a good division place to be in? Is the value of the homes there going to go up, or is there some other idea there that I don't want to, that I might not, I don't want it to affect the whole value of the house I'm going to be purchasing? There's a whole bunch of factors like that. But now I'm looking at it, I'm saying, how many rooms do I need? How many, what are the amenities that I need? And how does that all fit the narrative? If I don't find those, I make a list. If I don't find those, how could I just go buy a house? Yet, people are doing this. People are bidding way over their budgets. They're going for it. And then, what is a common thing I hear? 4 months, 3 months after? Hey, did you like the house? What do you think? Is it a good purchase or what? Are you happy? You know what the response is 9 times out of 10? Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we're happy. Oh, well, what's wrong? Oh, well, there's a lot of fix-ups, and we didn't really get what we wanted. We're a little bit too far from XYZ, but like the fix-ups. Oh, why? Because you did a bidding war and there was no stipulations on the on the property, so you couldn't even bring in somebody to check out to see if you needed XYZ fixed. Yeah. Oh, okay. And this is what's happening. It's stressful. So their happiness level is so far down that this whole experience is just negligible on the scale. And this whole purchase is a bad one. They did get in though, and they bought, and the value of the home has gone up, and they're like, oh, but who's to say they're not going to come back down? And who's to say we're not going to see a 10% decrease? So that 10% increase, man. And the idea here is that they could have waited and bought something they wanted. But the fear factor comes into play, and this is where we're looking at this whole thing. Every time this happens, fear factor comes into play, people get stressed, they go and make these decisions, and then all of a sudden they lose out on the whole happiness aspect. Did they see an increase or a good benefit with the investment side of the money side? Yes. And is there happiness from that? Yes. But you're still living there, right? Time, energy, and money. This is what we're trying to focus on. You're investing all of this in every decision you make. The goal here is to make sure that you're making a good decision. In order to buy in this market, you're literally saying, I'm going to give up on some of the things that make me happy. You're literally saying, I'm not going to go and buy the exact thing I want, but rather I'm going to make sure my needs are met to nth degree and just get into a place. Now, if you're a type of person that needs a place, it's a different story. If you need a home right now, then you need to pull the trigger. But if you don't need it, then the question is, why are you stressing yourself out other than the fear factor of what you're hearing in the news and what's happening and this and that? What's the point? You're not going to get what you want anyways. So you're losing out. So why not wait? Put the fear aside. Ask yourself, what is it you really want? You should be asking with your wife, what is it that I really want? X, Y, Z. We're now only going to look for properties with that. And if it comes along, we're going to be ready. And we're not going to put a big emphasis on, or a stress, you would say, on the expectation of making sure we buy in before everything goes boom. This is where you need to be at if you want to go through this process and be happier. And you're going to be investing your time, energy, and money in a way where you know that down the road, you're happy with how much you've invested and there's happiness, a return on investment in those. And now you're happy with the decision because you're living where you want. This is where we're at. And if your scenario fits the narrative, that's what I'd be looking at. The people that are doing this, they're happy. There was a couple couples that did this and they got into the property they wanted. And yes, they didn't get the price was a little bit higher than they expected, but they're turning around and going, we made the best decision. Because it's not that they made the decision that I'm telling them to make, it's the process of the decision making they took. They did this on their own. They made the decision that made sense for them because they looked at everything in terms of time, energy, and money, in terms of happiness level, and in terms of the fact that that value of money that you may make, rushing a decision may not be that value of happiness you're looking for. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, and of course, leave your comment below. What are your thoughts? What are you doing if you're looking for a home? What are you thinking about the future? Who knows? Somebody might be watching this video. They might relate to your opinion in your comment. And who knows? You might help change a life.